I did the carnivore diets for 30 days. For the past 30 days, I've just been eating meat, eggs, butter, bacon, just animal products, right? I ended up losing around 7, 8 pounds, eating as much as I wanted without tracking calories. Day one, I weighed in at 170, and today, after 30 days, I weighed in at 162 or 163, I don't remember. And for reference, I'm 5'8", 5'9", 5'8" and a half. So I ended up losing a decent amount of weight on this carnivore diet. And the craziest thing about it is I didn't track calories. I didn't have the calories in, calories out model when it comes to, eating. I didn't track calories. I literally just ate as much as I wanted. I just ate till I'm full. And I still lost weight. I'm feeling a lot leaner. Obviously, like I'm still kind of like fat and chubby, right? I still got more progress to make, of course, but I'm feeling a lot better. Day one of the carnivore diet. Today is September the 1st, 2025. I can see a little bit more like muscle definition coming in. My delts, I can see them like pop out a little bit more. In the mornings, I can see like kind of slightly a little bit of my upper abs, whereas before, huge like bloated belly like a balloon. So I'm looking a lot leaner. Of course, I still got more progress to make. I'm still fat, but I've made a lot of progress on this carnivore diet. Prior to this carnivore diet, I was eating a normie carb diet, carb heavy, moderate amount of protein and low in fats, just because it was more convenient and it just tasted better, low key. Like these evil scientists, bro, they have us by the balls, right? And also they push out this. So I was still eating relatively healthy, of like decent amount of meat, high, but it's usually like it's like the food pyramid of high carbs and then moderate protein and low in fats. I was eating a lot of junk food at the time. Like I was eating somewhat healthy, but I was also having, a bit of processed food, a decent amount of sugar, so like the standard American diets, but maybe a little bit better because I'm into fitness, right? I didn't feel that much better than prior, like prior of me, like 2 years ago. It was just, I remember freshman year of university. I'm like a soft, or I'm a senior now, but freshman year, I was eating at the dining hall, and all I ate was literally garbage, high carb foods, like every single day, because that was the only food items that they served at the dining hall, and also high in sugar. They had a lot of variety of different kinds of desserts there. When I started this carnivore diet 30 days ago, I knew my life was going to change because I've seen so many people going from fat to fit. Their skin started to heal. Their random joint problems went away after eating a carnivore diet. They lost weight. They felt better. Mental health got better. They got leaner. So I know I'm gonna, make a lot of progress on this diet. Before this 30-day carnivore diet, I've tried the carnivore diet many times before, but my mindset going into this diet was like back then, it was kind of a streak. Like if let me I'll try to explain this to you. So I'll get motivated. Oh, carnivore diet, so it's day one. I'll go 3 4 days just eating meat, eggs, butter, bacon, whatever. And then on day five, I if I ended up eating out with my friends, I would just see it as a loss. So I lost all my progress. And then for the rest of the week, I'll just eat shit food and binge eat because technically, I ended on day five, and I should start again next week, right? Start again next Monday, fresh week. So for like the whole weekend, I was just eating shit food, and that wasn't the mindset of me going into this new version of the carnivore diet. Now I've completely shifted away from that mindset of keeping it as a streak. Of course, there was a few days where I went out to eat with my friends and I did some social things and I ate like normie foods. But would I consider that a failure? Like would I consider that, failing this carnivore diet? No, because we're not perfect. We should strive to be perfect, but there's no way we can be perfect. There's no way I'm gonna eat meat and eggs for the rest of my life. It's just not realistic. And so 30 days, probably 4 or 5 days where I went out to eat with my friends and, did some social things when, had a little bit of like normie foods. And I still managed to make a lot of progress because my mindset wasn't, oh, I relapsed today. And so for the rest of the day, I'm just going to eat shit food. Or for the rest of the week, I'm going to just binge eat because I can start again next week. That was the mindset prior to this 30-day, right? So I kept failing and failing and failing before. And now I feel like I've made so much progress. Even on the days where I mess up, I don't see it as like a failed carnivore day. I just see it as, oh, I went out with my friends, I socialized. The next meal I'm gonna eat is just meat and eggs. I'm gonna go right back into the routine of eating healthy. A couple of days of eating shit food is not gonna affect me. On this diet, I get to eat as much as I wanted. I didn't track calories. I didn't log every like macronutrients into my fitness pal. I just ate as much as I wanted until I was disgusted with the food in front of me. Then I'll save it for later. So the calories in, calories out model doesn't work for most people because I've tried that before. You eat X amount of calories and you try to burn more than the calories you consume so that you can lose fat, right? It never ended up working out for me. I would lose the weight and then feel like shit and then binge eat and then it just kind of this like up and down roller coaster, which I don't think it's a long-term solution to losing fat. But on this carnivore diet, I was eating as much as I wanted and I still lost weight. I remember on day one, I had like 10 eggs scrambled in butter and then like 2 ribeye steaks. The next day, I dropped like 3 pounds. Like, how can you explain calories in, calories out when I had 2 ribeye steaks, 10 eggs, butter, beef tallow, right? That's easily over like 2,500 calories. Like, I don't track my steps. Like, I'm not even close to 10K steps a day. Maybe on the days where I play basketball, but it's only like a few times a week. And I still managed to lose weight. On day one, I don't remember, I don't think I was that active that day. I think I just did maybe like a weightlifting workout and then just sat at home doing my university work. Ended up losing 3 pounds. I think it was at 170, and then I weighed in at 166.6, something like that. On day two, can you imagine? Like I had 2 ribeye steaks. They are super high in calories because ribeye steaks are higher in the fat content. 10 eggs cooked in butter. Ribeye steaks were cooked in beef tallow. We're not using seed oils here. And I managed to lose weight. A lot of it is probably water weight. Probably some of it was fat. So this calories in, calories model, it's just kind of a scam. And not eating carbs. So a carnivore diet is pretty much where you only eat animal products. You don't eat carbs, you don't eat vegetables, you don't eat fruits, you don't eat sugar. You only eat fats and protein. It makes me feel like a superhuman. I don't know what else how else I can describe it, but not eating carbs literally makes me feel like a superhuman. Like after 2 weeks in, you just feel like an entirely different person. Okay, so the first couple of days you're motivated. Oh yeah, I'm gonna eat carnivore. Like for the rest of my life, I'm motivated, right? First couple of days you're motivated, fine, whatever. Then after like a week, you start getting cravings. You want the carbs, you want the processed food. You're shaking because you just want to eat that cookies or whatever, or that carb thing. or that processed food, because our body is just so addicted to those normal American diet food. When we see them, we just want to snack on them. We just want to eat them, even though we're not hungry. And I remember I was watching a video on how to get rid of sugar cravings on this diet, and she that the YouTuber was and the YouTuber said something like, if you just eat straight up butter from the fridge, like you go to the fridge, open up, you like unwrap the tin foil, the aluminum thing, and then just straight up eat the butter, you're gonna get rid of sugar cravings, and it worked for me. And so, if you're on this carnivore diet and you get cravings for sugar and carbs, eat butter. Like straight up just chew on that stick of butter and it will go away. At least it did for me. Yeah, like carbs makes you mentally retarded. Not eating carbs makes me feel like superhuman. I feel light, I feel fast, I can move. I don't get that bloating afterwards. I don't get that heaviness, the brain fog, the mental fatigue after a big meal, right? I can eat like 10 eggs and like 3 beef patties. I feel completely fine. I'm full, yeah, like I'm full, I'm satiated, but I feel completely fine. I can still go out and do the things that I'm supposed to do. I can still work out. I still have energy. But if I just eat like a big plate of, for example, chicken and rice and a bit of vegetables, a bit of fruit, that's pretty healthy, right? According to mainstream media. I just want to go to bed right after eating, or just scroll on my phone and not move. I get like brain fog whenever I eat carbs. I don't know what it is. It's just like you eat carbs and then you go to class, you're tired, you can't focus on what the professor is teaching. You just want to go to bed. Every single time it would be like that. But on this carnivore diet, it's day one. Like I don't get brain fog. I get like you get more energy after you eat instead of less energy after you eat. Which supposed it makes sense, right? You eat, you get more energy. But when you eat carbs, at least for me, and I assume many other people on this planet, carbs just makes us feel like a mentally weak, heavy, lazy person who, we can't be productive. And so maybe if you're struggling with brain fog, mental fatigue, you can't focus, you can't be productive, I urge you to try this carnivore diet, right? Go a few days just eating meat and eggs and see how your brain will feel. You will feel so much more productive. At least it did for me. I don't get bloating on this diet. Eating a normie diet, you get a lot of bloat. And especially if you're Asian like me, our diet is full of noodles and rice and all kinds of grains. And it gets you bloated. I was bloated 24/7 eating like a normie diet. So I just have like this balloon, skinny fat, like lower belly protruding type body like physique. Now I'm so much leaner. I feel so much better. I don't get the bloating afterwards. I feel light. Even after like a 2,000 calorie meal, I still feel like I can move and run and sprint. Unlimited energy, bro. Whereas eating a high carb diet, I feel slow, I feel weak, bloating, of course. There are a lot of benefits to eating a carnivore diet. You go lose a lot of weight. It's mostly water weight and body fat. You don't lose muscle on this diet, which a lot of people say that, oh, I want to lose weight. Yeah, but like you want to lose fat. You're not trying to lose muscle. And some people, they will just starve themselves or eat like, I don't know, a high carb meal but low in calories or whatever diets they're on, like the vegan diet or vegetarian diet. On this diet, you don't lose muscle. You actually lose weight that you want to lose, like fat. Like the fat, like the jiggly part on your body, the lower belly fat, your fat ass, like you will lose the fat, the adipose tissue on your body when you get on this carnivore diet, when you're just eating meats and eggs. When you eat carbs, you hold on to more water and you gain literally gain more fat. At least for me, right? And for many other people. Maybe you're different, but for me, when I eat a lot of carbs, I just feel like I'm gaining so much weight and fat and bloat and water weight. Your brain feels better, you're more sharp. But there are also some negatives, side effects, but they're only short term. So the first week, first 2 weeks, I had like intense diarrhea. So it turns out that when you switch to a new diet, your gut microbiome, it has to like take time to adjust to this new diet. So whatever diet you're on right now, if you switch to a new one, right, like a completely different eating style and what you're consuming, your digestive system is gonna react. And you're gonna have the diarrhea session. And yes, the bathroom was a painful period of the day for the first like 1 to 2 weeks. But after that, it slowly starts to go away. Oh yeah, like you poop a lot less on this carnivore diet. First 2 weeks, yeah, I was like just splurging out like liquid feces. But after 2 weeks, it's like I'm just pooping normal, but a lot less, like once every 2 days. Many people will say, "Oh, you're constipated." No, I'm not. Because there's no bloat in my stomach. If I'm constipated, I will feel like there's this blockage in my digestive system and bloat. But no, I feel clean. I feel fast. I feel light. So there's no way I'm constipated. And it turns out when you eat meat and eggs, your body absorbs like 98% of it. And that's why you go to the bathroom a lot less, at least for me. Of course, you get intense cravings for processed food, especially when you first started out, like I did. I just wanted to eat, sugar and processed food and things with seed oils and fried foods and the normie foods that you probably eat and your fat like parents and friends, your unintelligent friends and teachers, they will, oh my gosh, bro. I remember like high school, what do I have in the cafeteria? It's always high carb, moderate protein, and low fat. 2% milk. Everything's like low fat yogurt, high fiber, and high carbs. Shut the fuck up, bro. Literally, fiber makes you bloat. And everyone tells you that fiber is like supposedly this healthy thing that you should be eating X amount of grams of fiber a day. I wasn't eating much fiber on this diet, except for the days when I went out to eat with my friends. There's probably some fiber in the different foods that we were eating, but like 80% of the time, no fiber, no carbs, just meats and eggs, and I feel completely fine. I feel so much better, a lot better than even like a healthy, like meat, vegetables, and whole grains and organic foods diet. So much better. There was a couple of days where I experienced cramping, especially my hamstring and my calves. So I did a bit of research on it, and it turns out that on this carnivore diet, you lose electrolytes really fast because you're not eating carbs. And for some people, they can experience, some muscle cramps. And to get rid of this issue, I added more salt to my diet, and I bought like a little thing of electrolytes. On this carnivore diet, you can supplement with electrolytes. It's kind of for like beginners to ease into this carnivore diet without experiencing like crampings and fatigue, because for some people they get fatigued on a low carb diet. Let me show you. So here is the electrolyte brand that I use. It looks like this, and on the back of the ingredients label, sea salt, citric acid. It's probably for like the flavor because I got the orange flavor. Himalayan salt, magnesium glycinate, potassium chloride, and stevia leaf extract, which is like apparently it's the healthiest form of sugar, and there's not that much. It's only like 30 calories and zero sugar, and I think it's keto friendly. Yeah, keto friendly, paleo, sugar free. Yeah, so get yourself a thing of electrolytes if you're experiencing some fatigue or some crampings in your muscle. For me, it was like my calves and my hamstrings. But besides that, there's not much of a negative side effect. Besides those negative side effects, there's not much else. Overall, I feel incredible. And one more thing I want to talk about is the new mindset of going into this diet. Before, when I would, you know, improve my life in various ways, I would almost look at it as a streak. Set a goal for myself. Oh, like for example, no fap. A lot of people do no fap as a streak and diets. Oh, I'm gonna eat the carnivore diet for the rest of my life. I'm gonna get on no fap the rest of my life. I'm gonna go to the gym 3 times a week for the rest of my life. But the thing is, you're not going to be perfect. There are going to be days where you mess up and you're not going to be able to make it to the gym, or you end up relapsing on the bad habits or eating the shit food, the processed food. The new mindset going into this diet, just self improvement in general, is to see it as like a lifelong journey, because it is a lifelong journey. You have the rest of your life to improve yourself, and you should be improving yourself for the rest of your life. If you mess up one day, right, you're going up this roller coaster, you're making a lot of progress, you're doing all the good habits, you're eating meats and eggs every single day, and then on a weekend you went out to your friends and you have a little bit of alcohol, it goes down, the roller coaster goes down. But if you see it as where you failed this routine, this carnivore diet, then the roller coaster is gonna continue to go down, and you're gonna, you know, for the rest of the week, rest of the month, you're just gonna binge eat. And then when you try to go up again, it's gonna be way harder. When you try to, if you want to come back to, if you want to like incorporate this routine back into your life again, it's gonna be hard. So when, I told you, like I said before, there was a few days when I went out to eat with my friends and I did a bunch of social things and I ate like normie foods that were not healthy. But did I see it as like failing this diet? No. I just saw it as, oh, I'm enjoying this social event. I'm present in the moment. I'm not overthinking. I'm just eating, laughing with my friends. We're chatting. We're making fun of each other. We're having a fun time. I'm being present in the moment. I'm not being autistic. Oh, I gotta eat meat and eggs. Yes, I'm going to, but I'm enjoying this present moment. I'm not doing this every single day, right? It's like once a week, once or twice a week. 80%, 90% of the time, I'm eating meats and eggs and beef tallow and butter. 80%, 90% of the time, I'm not eating seed oils or carbs and sugar. One day, it's not going to mess me up because I know for the next meal, the next day, right? The next time I eat, it's going to be back on this carnivore diet. So don't see it as like a failure. If I didn't eat those processed food or those eating out at those restaurants, would I have made a lot more progress? Of course, I definitely would have lost a bit more fat, a bit more water weight. Definitely could have gotten more lean, but I'm not gonna give up my social life and be a loner in my room watching a carnivore video and eating carnivore food. Being social is literally more important than anything else. I remember when I first started self-improvement, right? Everyone tells you to, lone wolf, right? You gotta go ghost mode and cut out everyone, cut out friends and family and delete social media and this and that. Okay, you get on something, you're improving your life, but your social life is shit. Obviously, cut out the bad friends, but a lot of the YouTubers, they were telling you cut out the good friends as well, even cut out your family. It makes you feel socially isolated. Humans are social creatures. We're not some like lone wolf type creatures. We're meant to communicate with others. We're meant to express our opinions and ideas and yap a little bit. We're not meant to sit in a dark room in front of our computer working and eating by ourselves, right? Obviously, if those people are like actually dragging you down like the crabs at the bottom of the bucket, obviously, yeah, get rid of them. But in general, most people are nice. Made a lot of progress. I'm feeling a lot better, and I'm on this carnivore diet journey for the rest of my life. I'm not gonna be autistic over it, but the majority of the time, I'm just gonna be eating meat and eggs. We got today is like October 1st. We got 3 more months still till 2026. Let's see how much progress we can make. If you're on this carnivore diet, continue, don't give up. If you relapse, eat steak the next day. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't be an autistic weirdo, like, right? Etching, like, you know, those memes where like this soy boy like etches into his jail cell wall of like the days of his no fap streak. You don't want to do the same shit like on the carnivore diet. I used to be like that, and I kept failing and failing and failing. You don't want to do that. Don't look at it as a streak, see it as a lifelong journey. If you're fat like me, get on this carnivore diet. I've made a lot of progress, and you will as well. Keep eating more meat. Goodbye.